Okay, so let's see how this one works. Brunette, what up? Okay, so if you didn't notice already, I've completely switched services who I stream with. Okay, so this does give me the counter up there, and I just want to play with this before I go live tonight. You'll notice that as soon as it kicks on, it goes straight into the intro now. So now if I'm going to do the Bible verse at the beginning, it'll have to be after the video. What up, JoJo? So we switched. I'm not using Streamyard anymore. To anybody that uses Streamyard, it's not worth the money. This is half the cost, and it's twice as good. Basically, I had a falling out with them this morning because the whole not able to switch between Bible verses. And if you notice, I can do that now. I found the back door for it, right? And I could have done this on StreamYard too, but when I messaged them and asked for my button back, they blamed it on Google and then offered no solution. Just straight up, like, there's nothing we can do. We're not gonna mess with it though. So they're like, we're not gonna mess with it. You know, there's just nothing we can do. You're kind of SOL. Sound and video is shit on what, this one? Is it? I can't. You're okay. So this works the same way here. He said sound and video is shit. How does this work? Okay, yeah. Don't mess with me, Joey. Come on. So I switched to this one. I think this one's much better. I like the layout. I like the layout. I like the fact that now I can just switch back and forward. Boom. First John, Nahum. We're gonna read Nahum. That's what I want to go through. But I wanted to play around with this before I go live tonight, so I know what I'm working with, and I can also set it up to where I get to use another camera, and I can have my actual Bible like in front of me and have a camera facing that too if I really wanted to. Which to me it was just much better. And this thing is called the Melon app, MELON APP, melonapp.com. I know they have it for phones, they have it for computer. This is what I switched to, and it's half the cost. So much happier. Okay, thanks, Joe. Thanks, Burnett. Joey's, he's a joker. So as we go through this, I just wanted you to know that this is only a test run. Tonight we're going to redo the Psalms at 8 o'clock. I'm going to redo it because it just ended up being a shit show. Eddie doesn't read, doesn't pay attention, didn't take it seriously, and now he's stuck in La La Land. And I can't, there's no help in that. There's just no, help yourself, man. That's what it's all about. If you really give a shit about it, you'll sit down and read, right? And I know, like, I might have come across as a dick last night. Very, very much so understand that. But if you pay attention, he can type just fine, right? All the comments in the comments were just fine. He can type. So, and then when he actually does read, he can read. It's not like the guy's blind and he needs somebody to read it for him. It's not like he's deaf and he needs somebody to walk him through it. No, he's perfectly capable and chooses not to. Therefore, I have no sympathy, right? And that's how, that's just how it goes. Really, everybody is without excuse. All except Facebook profile. What is that all about? Do not support sending messages to Facebook groups, Facebook profiles, and LinkedIn accounts. Okay, so I won't be able to answer through Facebook, but I still can stream through Facebook. And then it shows the comments just like, now it says double click to update. I don't know what that means. Highlighted. Okay, same thing. This is pretty much the same thing. I like it much better. And it goes the same thing, and it also gives the users, anybody that comes up here, it gives them a much more detailed, much more control over what they're able to do as far as their mic, camera, volume settings, and all that. And it's the same thing. There's a link, then I'd send the link, and then they pop up, and I like it. So we're gonna read Nahum. That's the plan. Just because I'm not getting up here for nothing. And I really did just want to tool around with this. But it's, yeah, I like this much better. I really do think I'm going to like this a lot better. So, Nahum chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. And you know from Hebrews 10:26, where he says, 10:26 and 10:27, he says, if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remains no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversary. So you know that the adversary is the one who still sins. So God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. There's no, that's not a joke. Like, there's just no joke in that. There's no humor in this. There's no amount of playing around. There's zero. There's no leeway. There's going to be no give. There's going to be, if you go through this entire life and you don't figure out the truth, if you go through this entire life and you don't figure out the truth and you die still playing sin, repent, repeat, you're done. Dude, you're an idiot, man. Private wars, it's just, that makes no logical sense whatsoever. It doesn't line up with the Bible at all. You just refuse to line up. So I don't. Nahum 1:3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Jesus said, oh, and look, the stream, it goes down across the bottom here too. And with this one, I can actually move it up to the top. So he said, John 8:34, Jesus answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And I want to show you this, Brunette, watch this. These people will literally go to this extreme just to deny that they serve sin. Right? They'll just to deny Jesus. They'd rather believe they're stuck in a fucking time loop than believe that because they sin they're of the devil. It's sad. It's straight up sad. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. Carmel, Mount Carmel, is in Israel, right? You guys got to understand these things. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence. Yea, the world and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation? And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like a fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. He knows the ones that go by the book. He knows the ones that actually believe. He knows. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do you imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. For while they be folden together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry. What's up, farmer? Oh, good, you're here. I actually would like to have a conversation with you at some point if you get time. So, I know we talked the other night. We're on better terms, but I would like to help make it clear, dude. I want to help you understand it. Verse 11. There is one come out of thee that imagines evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Thus saith the Lord, and that's that spirit that works in the children of disobedience. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2. That's the one that imagines evil against the Lord, the ones who sin. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now I will break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord hath given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image and the molten image. I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feasts, perform thy vows. For the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. Nahum chapter 2, verse 1. He that dasheth in pieces is come up before thy face. Keep the munition, watch the way. Make thy loins strong, fortify thy power mightily. And I want to show you what this is. So you see all the governments in the world, all the armies, all these people in all these different countries. What are they doing? They're fortifying their armies. They're rebuilding. They're building their stockpiles of guns and ammunition. The governments themselves are prepping for war with God. Like, that's what they're getting ready for. They're not prepping for war with each other, even though that happens along the way. They're prepping for war against God. For the Lord hath turned away the excellency of Jacob as the excellency of Israel. For the emptiers have emptied them out and marred their vine branches. Israel's done. The shield of his mighty men is made red. The valiant men are in scarlet. The chariot shall be with flaming torches, in the day of his preparation, and the fir trees shall be terribly shaken. The chariot shall rage in the streets. They shall jostle one another in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings. He shall recount his worthies. They shall stumble in their walk. Look at, there it is. They shall stumble in their walk. They shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared. The gates of the rivers shall be open, and the palace shall be dissolved. And Huzab shall be led away captive. She shall be brought up, and her maids shall lead her, as with the voice of doves tabering upon their breasts. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water. Yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. He says he believes in Jesus. He really doesn't, though. Just because somebody says they believe doesn't mean they do. How do you find out if they're a real believer or not? You measure them to the book. He was just up here quoting something about being stuck in a time loop. He doesn't believe in Jesus because that's not in the Bible. He doesn't go by the Bible. He goes by his own opinions and his own interpretations, and he goes by what other sinners tell him because he himself probably still serves sin. So just because you say you believe doesn't mean you actually believe Private Wars. And I've talked to you personally. You don't. You're a fraud. Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store and glory out of all the pleasant furniture. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. Where is the dwelling of the loins and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the old lion, walked, and the lions whelp, and none made them afraid? The lion did tear in pieces, enough for his whelps, and strangled for his lioness, and filled his holes with prey, and his dens with raven. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off thy prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messenger shall be no more heard. Who's he talking about? Right up here. For the Lord hath turned away the excellency of Jacob as the excellency of Israel. He's cut them off. They're done. I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off the prey from the earth, and the voice of the messenger shall no more be heard. Nahum chapter 3. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses. There is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. He's talking about Israel. And you tie this to Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. Right there. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. That goes to Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. The mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. It's funny, you're mentioning this right here. That's perfect, because that's exactly where all that comes from. Where is it? How does it... There. Boom. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and thy kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? When shall I seek comforters for thee? Art thou better than Populus? No, that was situate among the rivers, that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite. Put and Lubim were thy helpers. Yet was she carried away. She went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains. Thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies. The fire shall devour thy bars. Draw thee water for the siege. Fortify thy strongholds. Go into clay and tread the mortar. Make strong the bricklings. There shall the fire devour thee. The sword shall cut thee off. It shall eat up like the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the locust. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The cankerworm spoileth and flieth away. Thy crowned are as the locusts, and thy captains as the great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in the cold day. But when the sun ariseth, they flee away, and their place is not known where they are. Thy choking on my spit. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust. Thy people is scattered upon the mountains, and no man gathereth them. There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? That's the shit that Israel taught everybody. Sin, repent, repeat. Sin, repent, repeat. Upon whom does it not do that? Escape it, man. That's my advice for everybody. Read your Bible. Escape it. Put in the time, put in the effort. You know, it's worth every minute of your life. TikTok can fucking wait. Facebook can wait. The Bible can't. And he won't. He won't. He will not at all acquit the wicked. He's not going to wait for anybody. He's got a set number. Once that's it, it's done. You need to read. Jesus meant exactly what he said. I want to play with this a little bit more. I can do... Jesus just meant exactly what he said. I mean, it's pretty simple. Hang on, check it out. We have this, and I can move that around. I like this part. The Bible means what it says. Can I shrink it? No. Okay. No. Alright, whatever. Either way. Now I know how it works. I'm happy. I'm very much so happier with this stream. What do you think? What do you think, Brunette? You think this works better? You like this one better? I like that it's not glitching. I also don't have to pay for the camera app for the iPhone. So, and it works, and it gives me back my flip. I don't have to have it vertical. Like, this is cool. Love it. All right, yeah, me too. I think this is much better, much more effective. The only thing I don't like is I don't have that extra 30 to 50 seconds in the beginning of the show to just have the Bible verse up. I would have to do it after, but then I can also do an outro too. So I like that. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to work much better. I really like this one, Lee. This one's so much better. So this is what we're going to go with from now on. And then tonight, what is it? It's 1:30 now. I know, Brunette, you're in Edinburgh, but you're in Night Owl. I forgot about that. So what is it? 6.5 hours from now, we're going to redo Psalms 120 through 150 with no bullshit. And yeah, that's that. And I hope I see you guys there. Other than that, yeah, enjoy your day. I like Nahum. I really do. In fact, here, there's the one verse in chapter 2 where he... Now, the one thing I haven't played with yet is videos on here. I don't know, maybe I should do that now. Well, I've got you here. You can tell me how it works. But... Where is it? They will stumble over their corpses. It is chapter 1. The tie for that, he will have his way in the whirlwind. Nahum. Oop. The whirlwind, so chapter 1, verse 3, and chapter 3, verse 3. So chapter 1, verse 3, he says, the Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind. I have it to, oh no, never mind. I have that tied to that. What is it? 3. Oh, I do have a tie for this, and I want to say it's in Joel, but I don't remember where. And I don't have it written down. Oh, damn it. Whatever. It is what it is. I enjoy doing this, and I will see you guys at 8 o'clock. I like this so much better. This is going to be so much better. Anybody that uses Streamyard, I highly advise switching. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, this is way better. It's called melanapp.com. If you stream, this is way better. You don't need OBS. You don't need any of that. It still does switch the videos into like if I wanted to switch, I can switch and watch a video, and it still does plug the sound into it. I haven't tried that yet. Oh, and check it out. We've got reaction noises. Oh, hang on. Fuck. So we've got an air horn now. Can you hear them? All kinds of stuff. I like this. Little drums. I do. I think I definitely really like this. Other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm going to keep playing around with this. And I enjoyed reading Nahum. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk soon. Take it easy.